All right, everybody, welcome back to Life in HD with David and Hilario. My name is Hilario,
I'm David.
and we got a special guest today.
My good friend Tyler.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Good old Skeeter.
Oh yeah.
He's in the driver's seat today.
Yeah, we're gonna have a very interesting discussion today, and Tyler's gonna be joining us for a lot of podcasts. He's gonna be basically another host. But since we only got 3 mics right now, we'll probably, when we have other guests, we'll rotate out.
Yeah, we're going to keep it fresh and original for everybody. Bring on multiple different people. Friends from everyone's friend groups and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I think everybody has a little interesting stories to share with us. I know eventually we'll get into more of Tyler's background and what he's been up to. But yeah, like David was saying, you guys have known each other since high school, right?
A little bit before, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, because I remember you were, I know I knew you in 8th grade because we had math together. And I remember specifically you were telling this chick that I thought was cute. You were like, oh, I'm going to tell her you have a crush on her. And back then when I cared, like.
Eighth grade.
8th grade.
Who was that? The teacher.
What was his name? Mr.
Higgins?
Higgins. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
it was
Higgins.
Higgins.
There we go. 8th grade
I was
math.
trying to remember.
That was a fun year. And,
I remember Mr. Higgins.
oh, you do?
Yeah, I think I had him for stats.
He was
pretty
a coach too.
For Frisbee, right? No, okay, Mr. Higgins. Yeah, he was my basketball coach. 8th grade.
basketball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He sounded familiar. I also had another math teacher in high school that he was a coach for Ultimate Frisbee. Do you guys ever play
Oh,
that?
Mr. Early.
There was him and there was another math teacher.
Mr. Watts.
I think so. I don't know.
Dude.
I don't remember the names, but
Mr. Watts was awesome.
yeah, the guy that I'm talking about, he was awesome. He was just like really goofy, he was nice. He was the best.
Shout out to all the Lebanon alum who know who we're talking about.
Yeah, Lebanon, Ohio. Piece of just kidding.
Hey, come
place
on,
in the
man.
world.
It's 97% white. The average age is probably above 50, and there is nothing fun to do.
What, in high school?
No, yeah. Yes, in high school.
I was like, what are you talking about?
The average
man?
age is 50. All the teachers are senile. No, but
I mean, you can go to Walmart any given night.
I mean,
That's the thing to do in Lebanon.
that is the thing to do in Lebanon because there's no clubs. There's no well, the bars there are kind of shitty, but
Also in high school,
yeah,
can't get in.
yeah, that's true. But everybody in Lebanon, I mean, I feel like there's just absolutely nothing fun to do because there's no one young there anymore. Everyone moves to different cities.
Yeah, and I mean, I know when I was in high school, it was really hard to open anything in Lebanon. I know Chipotle wanted to come to Lebanon, and the Lebanon City Council shut it down because they want to keep it a historic town. Like if you have a house downtown, you have to ask the city in order to like paint it or do any remodel or anything, even though it's your house because it's historic homes. So I think that's part of it. I mean, they want to keep it as a historic landmark type thing, which
So no Chipotle, but Hothead's okay.
yeah. So eventually they opened a Hothead. I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone with that decision, but
Little
Chipotle's-
Caesars is okay enough, but Chipotle, no.
No, Little Caesars is great. I wish they were open at 3 a.m.
Everybody does.
I
You know
mean,
how much business they would make at 3 a.m.?
dude, $5 pizzas at 3 a.m. when you're drunk coming home from the bars and whatnot. Not that we condone drunk driving, but when you're coming home with all your boys, the DD's like, hey, I'm gonna make a pit stop. We're gonna get fast food pizza, $5. Everyone in the car puts in $1, and boom, everybody gets a couple slices.
Really, the only place to go would be White Castle.
Yeah, that's
Near Lebanon, at least.
Yeah, because they're open 24 hours, but
That gets
Yeah.
tiring.
dude, I had White Castle because I was watching Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, and I was like, you know what? I've never had it, and there's one down the road. So I went out and just, what did I get? I even got like 2 sliders and some fries, I think, and just a drink, whatever. Dude, it was disgusting.
dude, they got the best milkshakes there though.
If it's working.
The little
If
burgers
it's working.
were
I used to work at
gross.
that one.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah. And we'd always tell people, like, yeah, it's broke.
It's
But
broken.
We just didn't want to clean it.
Damn, like late at night.
Yeah. It's already shut down. It's getting watered out, but
Did you work graveyard shift?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you say you also used to always mess with like all the drunks that came through?
yeah, I mean, it was a good time. It was between high school, right out of high school. You just see kind of what you can get away with because you know the people coming in are straight from the bars. One of our favorite things to do is when they come through, the general greeting would be, hi, welcome to White Castle. My name is Tyler. I would do a lot, be like, hi, welcome to Walmart. How can I help you today? most people would not even bat an eye at it. They would not get it. Or even be like, "Hi, welcome to Tyler. My name's White Castle. How can I help you?" People didn't get it to the point where you could start saying anything. I'd start slipping in little curses, just see if people would realize it. Nothing, especially that late.
Yeah, we used to do that too. Like, were you there that night? Justin like rolled up with the dolly, and he like was talking to I don't remember what the manager's name was, but he was like, "Yo, can I talk to a fucking manager, please?" And
No,
like,
David, I do not remember any of this, and I do not condone messing with that stuff. So yeah.
yeah, not that I do either.
Hypothetically.
Just because I was in charge, so I do not.
Well, hypothetically,
yeah,
you're in charge.
hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, I mean,
Chris always called them freedom fries.
yeah, that was funny.
That was fun.
Well, you gotta
used-
make it interesting. Some people liked it, some people don't. I know I don't necessarily, but I do expect them to be a little friendlier, not just kind of like try to push me through. You know, when I go to a drive-through,
Yeah.
even though I used to do the same. It's like anything else, what can I get for you? No.
We ruffled a few feathers a few times, but nobody ever like got pissed at us.
Oh, I had some people get pissed, but then again, I was in charge, so they always asked for me, and so they could yell at me. You know, it's like. You have to just be nice and try not to cuss at them. It's like, yeah, sure, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Those old people who wanted a senior coffee, and you were just like being so short with them.
Yeah, so these people that were not seniors, but they was like, oh, can I get a senior coffee? It's like, dude, you're like 45. What the fuck are you doing? Like, this is not how it works. I get it. You're trying to game the system, and it doesn't cost me anything to give you this for free, but like, you're a dirtbag. You know, like, it's 70 cents. Like, really?
You're that broke?
Yeah. No.
Did you ever have to ID it or anything?
I think
Can you imagine?
ID.
no, yeah, I think like they said it was like 60 and over. It's like, oh, you need to see my ID. Like somebody said something. I was like, no, like I don't need to see it, but like,
I'm
you
questioning
don't look
you.
that old.
I
Like,
am judging you.
yeah, it's like if I go to a place and I ask for like a senior discount or whatever, like it depends on the person. They might give it to you, they might not. It's just like when they do it over and over and over, it's like, all right, this is not okay.
I'm surprised the guys at the Rose don't recognize us by now. They're always asking for our IDs, and they're always looking
Well,
at
I
them
mean,
for a
they do
second.
recognize us. They know us.
Yeah.
But it's kind of their job to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to. If there's anybody then and they see like undercover or whatever, and they see like they can get in big trouble.
Yeah, because there's a camera pointed at them. Even if they know
Oh.
us personally, if they're not checking every single ID, they can cost their job.
See, I never even thought about that, so...
I mean, like the bartender at the Rose.
Yeah,
Even though
knows
he
who we
does,
are.
he knows who we are. So,
Walk up, 2 Budweisers, right?
yep,
Yep.
has the order ready.
He's like,
Shot
how's
of
Michigan
Jaeger.
doing this week?
I don't want to talk about that. Next.
Talking about football, today is Saturday and tomorrow is
Super Bowl
Sunday. Who are you guys rooting for?
The Patriots.
I'm going to have to go with LA.
Yeah, y'all can't see, but I'm wearing my Patriots shirt right now. I'm a big
Yeah, I
fan.
didn't even notice that either.
I'm a big spoiled fan 3 years in a row.
I like the Patriots. I like Rob and Tom Brady. I know everybody hates him, but like I also had Jerry Goff for my fantasy football. So and I like Brandon Cooks too. So I don't know. I think it'd be good if the Patriots got beat again. Defeated. But I think they're gonna win.
I didn't think they were going to beat the Chiefs, so this is just gravy at this point. Like, I thought they were going to lose in the AFC Championship, but I'm happy the Rams are good again. At least it's not like, Green Bay or somebody who seems like they're always good. The NFC has been a lot more competitive. I think 12 of the last 17 years, the Super Bowl has featured either Manning or Brady in the AFC. And if
Yeah,
you throw
that's
in Ben
great.
Roethlisberger, I think the 3 of them, apart from Joe Flacco, are the only quarterbacks from the AFC who have been in the Super Bowl.
See, it's not even that I'm a huge Patriots hater, because, I mean, being a Michigan fan, you got to like Tom Brady. I do like Rob Gronkowski, but it's just I'm so tired of seeing them year after year after
Yeah.
year in the same spot. I want to see a new team rise up. I like the underdog story.
4 of the last 5 years, we've seen the Patriots.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What's
I'm
going to be
very
interesting? It's going to be very interesting in the next 2 to 5 years, I'd say, because I mean Brady's old, Gronk is just
yeah.
breaking down. Belichick's going to retire.
What
and
more
then
do they have
they
to
got
prove?
nobody. But like I'm saying, like they're on top and they've been on top for a while. But it seems like they have no exit plan. Like after those 3 leave the team, like who do they have left? I mean Edelman, I guess, but like
I'm sure Edelman's going to go out when Brady does.
Right.
I think he's gone when Brady's gone. I think Gronk's, if they win this year, I think Gronk's done. If they lose this year, I could see him coming back for one more because I think next year they're going to be even better, assuming Brady doesn't fall off the cliff that Max Kellerman always talks about. So we'll see about that.
I mean, even when Brady got his start, he was a backup. He came in due to an injury.
He was a fourth stringer, actually, when he
Really?
first started. Yeah, they kept him on the roster. He told Robert Kraft when they drafted him, he was like, my name's Tom Brady, and I'm the best decision this program has ever made.
He wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong for a 6th-round pick. And Edelman's a 7th-round pick who plays like a number 1 receiver. I don't want to give him that title because I know he's not as good as like Julio or Odell or anybody like that, but he puts up numbers, especially in the postseason.
I mean, just being the New England Patriots, you're at the top. It doesn't matter. Even if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, someone coming up from the draft would be happier to get drafted by the Patriots than the Rams.
Yeah.
Just because of the longevity of the Patriots. I mean, that's where you want to go.
They've been doing it now for 19 years.
Yeah, isn't this amazing though? Because this is like the biggest fuck you from Brendan Cooks to the Patriots because they got rid of him right this year or
They
last year?
traded him to the Rams.
Yeah, they traded him.
They didn't want to pay him $85 million.
Well, they should have. Now he's coming back and be like, if the Rams win, I think like it's gonna be the biggest fuck you from Brendan Cooks to the Patriots.
I'm gonna feel really bad for Brandon Cooks if the Rams do lose because it's gonna be like I played for the losers last year and this year I played for the losers again.
And got beat by the team
By
that
my
I was
team.
losing with last year.
I should have taken $65 million. Shit.
Maybe it was me.
Maybe it was me. He went out in the first quarter with a concussion last year's Super Bowl. You want Philly? That pissed me off so much. I hated that. I was terrified that Nick Foles was going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And like I saw some posts on Facebook and it was like just Nick Foles looked confused as hell and it was like he's doing it again. Like, oh no. I've got to deal with the Eagles again. This one dude comes into work all the time. We always have banter and stuff because he's a big Eagles fan. And so I'll always talk shit when I can. And so for these last couple weeks since the Eagles went out, I've been talking a lot of trash to him. So I'm hoping he doesn't come in smirking on Monday like, oh, look at that. They lost.
See, I can't really talk being a Bengals fan. I mean, we're happy if we get to the playoffs, and we didn't even do that this year.
The Bengals are going to be the Browns of the AFC North for like the next 10 years.
I'm hoping with this new coaching structure, whoever they do hire for their head coach will turn this team completely around. Even if he's not going to be the best head coach for the job, having a new face for the program will do wonders for it. It's not the same Marvin Lewis. Hugh Jackson's gone.
Thank God Hugh's gone.
So it's going to be at least a fresh new start where if we do bad next year, we're not blaming Marvin Lewis. It's okay. We're in a rebuilding stage right now. And we have the talent there. I don't think Andy Dalton is the answer anymore. Jeff Driscoll, he looked amazing preseason.
They were looking really good in the start of the season, and then Eifert got hurt. And then, what's the kid's name? Boyd? Didn't he go down too?
Tyler Boyd?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he get hurt?
I believe so.
And A.J. Green got hurt towards the end of the season.
Yeah, with his toe.
And when your number one receiver is John Ross, who is looking more like a bust every day.
They're expecting big things out of him next year. But they were this year, too.
Like, so were the Patriots with Aaron Dobson, and then he winds up on Arizona and he's out of the league the year later. I mean, just because you're a highly touted pick doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do anything. There's 1,000,001 first-round busts. But it is what it is. I mean...
It's the name of the game.
I feel bad for the Bengals at this point. I'm glad Marvin Lewis is gone. Like, I used to hate the Bengals, but now I'm at the point where it's like, I can't hate you if you're terrible every year. Like, and just, they managed to fail away every single playoff appearance they get. Like, the game versus the Steelers was ridiculous.
You think anybody picks up Marvin?
I could see him being a DC or maybe an offensive coordinator somewhere.
But no head coach.
I can't see him being a head coach, not for a couple of years. I think he'll be a head coach again, but I don't know who'd want to take that risk right now. I think he'll thrive more as a coordinator. He's been a head coach for 16 years, though, so he clearly knows something. I don't know if he's more defensive or offensive minded, but I think he'll find a job, and I don't think he'll have a problem.
I mean, he knows something. He's competed at that level, but he has never succeeded at that level.
He's had good seasons, but he's never succeeded in the playoffs, whereas like a Bill Belichick or a Mike McCarthy does.
There's good seasons, but terrible finishes.
True.
Consistently.
And always heartbreaking.
And that's the point that matters. Look at the Steelers. They started off terrible this year, but they finished strong.
Yeah, that whole drama with Antonio Brown, too. I don't know who he's going to play for next year. I heard he wants to go to San Francisco, but we'll see how that pans out.
A lot of football talk here.
You can tell Hilario loves football.
Well, I mean, I like it. I watch it. I'm just not that invested. I can pick up on what you guys are saying, and just not. I don't follow it that closely anymore. I think that's why a lot of people are actually kind of the same, I would say, and that's why fantasy football is so great. It kind of makes it fun to watch the games, because
You can have a player on so many different
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
and root for them specifically.
yeah, you'll watch it for just one player, and it's interesting. I know a lot of football players don't like that. It's like, oh, you should just enjoy the game or whatever. Like, I don't care about your fantasy or whatever. It's like, well,
I think it adds additional enjoyment.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
then
additional.
You can pick a great player on a team you hate. Like I had Odell this year, and I hate the Giants.
Yeah.
As a Patriots fan, I fucking hate the Giants. But I was always like, let Odell get his numbers.
yeah. And if we're being honest, the NFL needs all the help they can get right now because there just doesn't seem to be as popular as previous years.
All the controversy with
Yeah.
the kneeling and
I mean,
all
look
these
at
social issues.
the advertisements that they're going to get. I mean, they're going to lose a lot of money on that because a lot of the big, I think it was Budweiser that they're pulling out of the main game, and they're going to play their ads before the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the NFL is going to lose out on a ton of money there. And I mean, I'm sure they're not going to be the only ones, that
Yeah.
are going to do that, to play their ads before or after the Super Bowl.
And as much as a Patriots fan as I am, I recognize that it's not good for the league. Like ticket sales, I think they dropped a lot actually because
Yeah,
people
there was
wanted to
something
see
about-
Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there was something about the tickets for the Super Bowl itself. Like, they were just not selling nearly as fast or as, like, high as they expected.
I mean,
as
all the
previous
Patriots
years.
fans that have wanted to go have had the last 3 of the last 4 years to go. So it's like, maybe not everybody's rushing to the ticket stands to buy tickets and whatnot. And, everybody's just had their fill of Tom Brady and company.
I saw something today. I'm not sure on the exact number. I believe it's around 35%, but it said 35% of the tickets to the Super Bowl were actually given away for free, just between different contests and everything like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as hard to get tickets right now.
Yeah, I
So-
was shocked that they held a Super Bowl in Minnesota last year. I know it's a dome, and that stadium looks awesome. Like, I'd love to go see a game in Minnesota, but it surprised me they picked a stadium that far north, because they always do them south. I'm pretty sure
Well, yeah, I
they
mean,
play.
why do they do that? Like, not pick the... Well, I guess that to, like, not give them, like, a home field advantage. Like, they
Well,
don't go
it's
to England or
predetermined.
LA.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
like
it is.
if you took a team like the Patriots, say they're used to playing in frigid temperatures, and then like
Yeah, I
let's
was
say it
gonna
was,
say that's why, because LA, I mean,
try and put it
sunny.
on an equal playing field because Minnesota has a dome now, so they can regulate temperature and everything. So the players were all playing in short sleeves and whatnot, and it doesn't bother them because it's warm in there. But
Well, Atlanta, it's gonna be pretty cold, right? I mean, right
I think
now,
they're looking at
anyways.
temperatures in the 60s, maybe.
Oh, they are.
Well,
Something
that's
like that.
freezing.
Oh, it's freezing for poor Atlanta.
Yeah.
What was the temperature the other day? -40.
With the wind chill, it was negative 40.
Good old Ohio. Everybody from Ohio.
And it's about, 50 degrees today?
Give or take, mid-high 40s, and it's going to be 60 on Monday, I think.
And it feels hot.
It feels
Yeah.
nice, honestly.
Yeah, like you walk out. Like I walked out expecting to be freezing, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Felt good, but then I had a jacket on, so I was like, pretty hot.
And when I left for work at 4 a.m., I had coats, everything on. I'm in my warehouse all day. I leave at 9, walk out. I'm like, oh, take everything off.
Yeah.
I went home in a t-shirt.
Start sweating right away.
Dude, I swear, we could do an entire podcast on the weather in Ohio. Like, we could fill an hour just talking about the weather.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody wants to listen to that.
Probably not. I was walking out to my truck the other day when it was really cold, that really cold day. And I just remember my nose was dripping and it started freezing in my
Yeah.
nose. And I was like, this is just wrong. Why is it so cold?
Yeah, I could
Why
feel
not-
the hairs in my nose.
Is-
It was weird.
the sensation of menthol. But it's
Yeah.
just the cold.
No, it was insane. Well, we're about 20 minutes in, and so I just want to touch in and like we got quite a few for being the first podcast last time. We got 6+ listeners, which is great. I mean,
Everybody starts
this is-
somewhere.
Yeah, this is how you start. I thought we were gonna get nobody, but to anybody listening right now, thanks for listening and appreciate your time. Glad you can make some time and join us in our conversation. And actually, Tyler, that's how he found out about us. He
I
did
sent the
David tell
link,
him?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he heard the podcast, and I was very glad to hear that he actually took some advice from what we were saying about credit cards. Like you were telling me yesterday, you tried to get credit for something, and you couldn't get it because you didn't have any credit.
Yeah, everything I've had since I was 16, I've always saved up my money to buy it because I was pounded into my head from an early age, save for what you buy, don't go into debt. I used to work at Sam's Club, tire technician. I applied for a Sam's card just to get a little credit card. Immediately got denied. No credit. A couple months later, I went to go try to get a motorcycle at the Harley Davidson store. I had $700 cash. The bike was about, I think, $1,000 to $1,100. I just needed a $300-$400 loan. No credit. Everyone told me that having bad credit would be better than having no credit.
No.
And so it's...
Well, I don't know.
Technically,
they told me to at least get the loan at that point. It might be a higher interest rate, but you could at least get a loan if you had some form of credit before then.
Right, yeah.
I can tell you both, and everybody listening, from the standpoint of working at a financial institution, a 0 score is better than having bad credit, but a 0 score, you're not going to be able to get much. I mean,
Right.
if we're offering you loans and you have less than 4 trade lines, that's 4 credit cards or like 2 credit cards, a car loan, and rent or something like that. Any 4 things that ding your credit. If you have less than 4 lines, you're considered a 0 score, which isn't high risk, but it's definitely more of a moderate risk as somebody with A+ credit. So you're going to be looking at higher rates for anything like a car loan, and you're going to probably be looking at co-signing with someone who does have credit.
Right.
Which just makes it a pain in the ass because kids with parents, that's one thing. You know, your parents obviously, in most cases, a parent will agree to co-sign with you. But if a parent doesn't agree to co-sign with you, like I know a couple people in situations like that, you're kind of screwed. Like your options at that point, like who's going to co-sign
You're
for
dependent
you?
on somebody else instead of just being able to go out and do it yourself. So yeah, it's a bit more of a pain in the butt because I had to do that when I got a car loan. I had to get my dad to sign, and just the process of trying to convince him. He's like, "Are you sure you're gonna be able to pay?" And like all that, and then having our schedules match up so we could go up to the dealership and get everything signed up, and it was just a hassle. Whereas if now I want to go and get a car, I can just go by myself and do everything, and it'll be a lot easier.
Oh, and they'll pre-approve you for plenty of money too.
Yeah, but this is great that Tyler doesn't have credit, or that he found that interesting, because I think he's not the only one. He's not alone out there. I think a lot of younger people are in the same boat, to where they don't have credit or they've never had to. And I think we're going to tell everybody the process, like what steps you've been taking. And I told him we're going to take him from 0 to hero. We're going to get him started into the credit game and, get him to have a really good score. Within maybe a couple of years, you'll get really high credit. And just in the next couple of months, you'll be able to get a good amount of credit anyways.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and he was saying he tried to apply for a couple cards, and he had to. Somebody told you to get a secured credit
Yes,
card.
one of the secured cards through my bank.
Yeah, now the bank that he's with offered him a credit card, but he had to put like 500. You said.
Yep.
So I told him to go with my old bank, because that's how I had to start my credit journey, and just opening a secured credit card. But I only had to open a $300 account, which at the time it wasn't that much. And again, you cannot use that money while you have the card. So I would say just open a new bank account, maybe with this other bank, open the 300 and just use it for gas.
So you do have to have an account there to open the card there.
Not true, because the card itself is an account.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
what I'm talking about. Open the account, just like the credit card account. But you're going to have to deposit that money as collateral, basically.
And also to add, because I recently made a mistake with this, I applied for the Quicksilver from Capital One. I did not apply for the right one, though. The one I applied for was one for people with rebuilding or new credit, and it had a $40 a month fee, but it did still get the 1.5% cash back, which is better than nothing. There's some places, like I think the Capital One Platinum, for instance, that'll charge you about $30 a year with absolutely no bonuses. If you can find one, do your research. There are better cards out there. You should at least be getting something if you're paying an annual fee. Most secured cards are free, but you can probably find something that somebody will be willing to give you as a secured card.
Yeah, and most cards you can get rewards back, and you don't have to pay a fee. I
Yeah.
only have one credit card that I pay a fee for right now, and I mean, I'm only keeping it because they give me amazing benefits. But so David and I have been doing the credit card game, like we were talking about this earlier
Years
or
now.
yesterday. Yeah, and so basically a couple trips a year I've been taking for the past couple of years, and they've been sponsored by credit cards.
In a nutshell, sign-up bonuses.
Sign-up bonuses are great. Some of the benefits its credit cards used to offer were great, like price protection. So I bought this camera, and with this credit card that had price protection, which meant that if I found that same price advertised in like the next 6 months, for cheaper anyways, like a lower price than I paid, they would refund me the difference. So that was amazing. I used it. I got $200 back. But I think now a lot of people are catching on to rewards and kind of, in a way, abusing. Maybe I'm the weird part of the problem.
Well,
But a lot of the credit cards are getting rid of those benefits. There are no more price protection or return protection, or they're getting rid of that. I mean, so they're losing.
well, once you get up into the higher tiers of cards, anyways, like a lot of the metal ones and stuff that carry annual fees, they offer you extra stuff because, if you're paying like some of the cards will go up to like the really exclusive ones might be like $1,000 a year, but some will carry like 450. That's a pretty typical number, like the Sapphire Reserve.
You're
But that
talking
one
about
has-
bonuses.
Yeah, but that one has stuff like airport lounge access and
Yeah.
just a bunch of other things that you don't get through regular credit cards.
Well, for example, I just applied for a new credit card from Bank of America, Premium Rewards, and I'm gonna get $500 back after I spend $3,000, and that card also gives you a $100 credit to apply for airport pre-check or global entry,
Oh, nice.
and you get a $100 credit towards drinks or check luggage or anything. So that's a total of $700 in a year that I'm gonna get out of the credit card. But that card does have a annual fee of $95. But in the first year, it just makes sense because I'm gonna make 700, and sure, I'm gonna have to give him back 100, basically. So I'm still making out $600 out of that card.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad trade if you ask me.
And if you use them enough, those ultra premium ones, they do pay for themselves. But it all depends on what your income is. If you made $20,000 a year, there is no need for a card with a $450 annual fee. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
But once you start making 50, 60 plus, why not?
Well, if you take advantage of the benefits of the cards, and this is what I'm talking about, like Chase, I love Chase, and their cards used to have a ton of benefits, and they have gotten rid of some of them. So I mean, it's just because they're losing money, and a lot of younger people, not everybody, but a lot of people are catching on to the rewards programs, taking advantage of the price protection and all that. That's why they got rid of it.
They sucker in kids by making them think they're basically gift cards, and then kids go out and max them out, and then you start paying interest. Chase offers great beginner
It's a bit of a
cards,
trap.
though.
I mean, they say, we'll give you $500, but you have to spend $3,000 to $4,000. So in the back of your mind, and like I notice it when I'm like, oh, I should buy this because I have to meet my spending limit or whatever, and that's where they get you because they're like, all right, well, let me spend this so I can get $500, but then guess what? You get your $500 and you're in the hole for still $2,500.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy to get out of it.
It is
once
harder
you're
to.
in.
You do have to pay more attention because it really is easy to just slide a piece of plastic and not pay attention to how much money you have in your wallet versus cash.
Right.
But at the same time, exercise responsibility with everything in life, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's easier said than done. But yeah, just keep track of it and don't fall in the trap because yeah, it's just kind of like sitting there. They'll lure you in with these great bonuses, but credit card companies are hoping that you mess up and can't pay it back. That way, you can carry a balance and pay interest. And then when you're paying interest, then you basically just give them everything back that they gave you at the beginning, and then some.
I see tons of people at work all the time with maxed out credit cards and whatnot. And they'll pay like
Yeah,
50
that's not
bucks,
cool.
and it's like, okay, every month you're gonna pay a little bit of money. You're gonna carry this $10,000 balance. You're gonna keep getting charged interest. You'll probably never pay it off, and then what have you done? You've basically fed the pig at this point. Like,
Right. And this is what we want to try to coach Tyler on.
and everybody.
Yeah. Well, so specifically Tyler, since he's going to be like the example for everybody else. So the next step for him is to go to the bank, open a secure credit card. It's going to have a 300 to 500, depending on how much you put down. But it's going to be a very low limit. So you want to keep under 30% highest of what you use. So that means, I mean, you can use more, but it's going to be kind of a negative thing. It might not allow you to grow your credit so quick, so
Just
fast.
buy gas and pay it off.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Only use it for gas, stuff that you're already buying right now. So you put gas in your car, maybe once, twice a week. That'll be about $60, which comes to, well, how much is 60 of 30? What is that?
$60 a week.
Is that like 40%? Right around 30.
$240 a month, give or take. You drive a truck anyway, so you're going to be paying more on gas. Let's say you spend $400 a month on gas.
Yeah. So I would recommend just paying the card off itself every week, like at the end of the week on Sunday or Monday or whatever, just so you don't get too high. Because again, you want to keep it at a percentage. So if you spend about 60 minus, it'll be around 15-20% of your total credit line, and that's where you want to be in that sweet spot between 0 and 30%. And there's no limit on how many payments you can make, really. I mean, some cards say like no more than like 4 payments a month,
Which is why you
but
just
that's
pay
once a
weekly.
week. Yeah, and that way they report that your maximum usage of the card is like, let's say $70, and even if it was $100, it'd be 33% of your credit line, and that's a positive thing. You want to keep it under 30%. That way they see that like even though you have credit, you're not like using all of it, and you're not a high risk, like David was saying. Because I think that they look at that, credit card companies, when they're
Oh, yeah.
assessing your line.
When they assess you a line, I mean, what they're looking at, your current score, your income, all that stuff. Which also, I should probably mention, I believe the rule is if you're over 21, you can use income that would be readily available to you. So, for instance, I put down a much higher amount of money than I actually made because technically, number one, I was just trying to get approved. And number two, if it came to life or death, yes, I could access my parents' money and a couple people that lived in my house with me. I've come to not necessarily like doing this, though, because they started giving me ridiculously high credit limits in the like $4,000 and $5,000 range. And hypothetically, if I paid that off, it would take me at least a year, if not more, to pay those off. So you can get yourself in hot water. You're not going to get in any trouble for that, for lying necessarily. I don't condone it. I don't think you should. But
Yeah, I don't
unless you
think you
default
should.
on your loans, they're not going to come knocking down your door.
Yeah, and what David was talking about is basically your household income that he was putting down, and
Yeah.
that's just everybody that lives in your house. And yeah, you can technically do that, but I mean,
We don't
if
recommend
you
it.
say that you make $200,000, they're gonna be like, wait a minute. Some credit cards do check or ask for more information, especially if you don't have established credit yet. I know, again, for my girlfriend, when she applied for the Uber card, they
Great card, by the
requested.
way.
Yeah, it's a great card. You get 4% back on all dining. So, at the end of the month, you might have an extra $20 that you can use to go out and eat again
Yeah.
for free. Yeah, you don't pay fees with that card. But she applied for the card. She put her income down, and the bank actually said that they needed to check a couple more things. They sent her a letter, and they told her to send back a couple pay stubs and the last bank statement. So they were actually checking her income. They probably didn't believe that she made what she made or whatever. Or maybe they were just doing their homework, from people, again, maybe inflating their income. But, I mean, just keep it to a reasonable level. If you put down that you make 40,000, I mean, even if you have access to more, that's still pretty good, as long as you're not paying more than half of that on rent or mortgage or other expenses.
And if you already have credit, you're not about to get turned down if you make $40,000 a year. I mean,
Right.
unless you, I don't know if I've ever applied for one where they actually asked, like, what do you want your credit line to be? I know if you do it in person, like where I work, we do ask, like, what do you want your credit line to be? And I wouldn't throw out any ridiculous numbers, but, it's like if everything checks out, they're not going to deny you if you already have established credit. Now,
Big warning here: just because you have a $10,000 credit line doesn't mean that you should be using $10,000 or putting $10,000 down on your credit card.
you can get yourself in the hot water very quickly doing that.
Yeah, because if you keep that balance and for some reason you can't pay it back, then you're going to be paying hundreds in interest every month, and then you're just stuck paying that off.
Because a
forever.
lot of these places will charge you like 26% a year. Now that might not sound like that much, but 26% of $1,000 is $260, and if you got up to $10,000, that's $2,600 in a year's time. You do the math.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it comes to a couple $100 a month of interest itself.
You're basically wiping out any benefits you get from even using the cards at that
Right.
point.
Yeah, you got to use them smartly. Never carry a balance if you don't have to, unless
There's
you
cards
have
that you
to.
can carry a balance on too.
Right.
Like, they're
Yeah,
like,
for a year. Some of the new cards that you get, they'll offer you like 12 months with no interest, which means that if you have $100, you can pay $5 every month or whatever the minimum payment is, and they will not charge you interest. But as soon as those 12 months are over, they're going to be charging you interest. So you don't want to carry a balance at that point.
no.
So you do recommend starting off to completely pay off the balance as you do it.
Every month, yeah.
Okay.
I would
If you
not
can
carry
afford
a
it.
balance. Right, because for most secure cards, they do not offer you any benefits. I would be surprised if they even give you cash back or 1% cash back.
You can find them though; they do exist.
Maybe, yeah. Like I haven't been in that level yet for, I mean, 7 years. But like when I first looked at credit cards, I had to pay a fee, and they charged, I think, back in the day, it was like 22% interest. So yeah, I mean, if I owe $50 and the minimum payment was 35, the only thing I had to pay was 35 a month, and then they would charge me interest on the remaining $15. But at 22%, I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it's money that if you can pay it off, just do it because otherwise you're paying extra and you don't have to. Yeah, we wanna maximize our points here, get as much money back as we can, and yeah, these cards that we have now, I mean, they give us 5% back in groceries or 3% back in gas, things that we're already paying for.
Once you have enough, you'll start having your favorite cards that you use for specific things. Like I always use the Uber card when I go out to eat because it's 4% every time. I don't even think about it. It's
Yeah,
just
there's no
automatic.
reason why anybody should be paying 100% price, full price of anything.
It's basically like getting, like it's like your Kroger Plus card. You always get like a couple cents here, a couple cents there. That's like every single transaction.
Yeah, every single transaction.
Most cards you can find will at least give you 1% on everything, if not 1.5.
Well, there are some now that just give you two. You know, like the double points
City
from
Double
City.
Cash.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1% on everything when you buy.
And 1% when you pay.
Yeah, so at that point, you just make 2% back on all your purchases.
And think about it. If you spend, let's say, $1,600 a month, which I don't spend that much a month, but, your average adult, with a family and everything, let's say you spend $2,000 a month. 2% of 2,000's $20. Or actually, $40. 1% would be $20. So $40 a month times 12 months, $480 at the end of the year, just because.
Just for having a credit card.
Yeah.
Free money.
Free money, exactly.
Everybody likes
That's
free
what
money.
we're all about in this game. I like to call it a game. It's kind of like a game, basically. Like we mentioned in our last podcast that we're going to Vegas. My whole trip, it's going to be paid for with 2 credit cards. That includes the flight, the hotel, my gambling for the night. I might have to pay for my own meals, but besides that, everything's going to be paid for.
All
Just
the
from the
hookers and blow.
rewards.
Huh?
Just from the rewards.
Just from the sign-up bonuses, yeah. So because I opened 2 credit cards, I'm going to be getting $800, and I'm going to use that towards my trip. So basically, it's going to be all free. And, I mean, that's pretty nice. You know,
Money in the bank.
free trip to Vegas with the boys,
Oh, of course.
getting some free drinks. I'm all about that free life, not going to lie.
What if we come
it's
back
free,
with a
it's just so
profit?
much better.
Like,
Huh?
what if one of us, hits a jackpot?
Yeah, that's the chances. I mean, like, I'm going with the mentality that, like, the money that I'm taking to gamble, it's basically lost. Like, I'm okay losing that money because, again, it's not mine. It was provided by the credit cards.
We should talk about gambling issues one day on here.
Oh, it's addictive for sure. I mean,
That'd be fun. Because I went to Jack one night drunk out of my mind and lost like $40 in 10 minutes. And
it was
Hilario can
probably
back that
shorter
up.
than that. It was probably like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's out down and just
You know,
gone.
we've all been there before.
And that's, I mean, people are going to be listening to this like, oh, $40, that's nothing. I mean, people do that. So the game that we like to play, we mentioned last time too, is Pai Gow. Tyler's never
poker.
been to a casino, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, he hasn't not seen some of the crazy things, but like I've been in enough tables to where Pai Gow is very popular in China, I guess. It's like an Asian game. So there's these people that just come to the table with like literally stacks of hundreds. There was this guy that I counted one time. He put down 8,000 and he already had a stack of chips, and he was betting 5,000 a hand.
Wow.
He lost all that money within literally 5-10 minutes.
You remember that guy in Vegas who was ordering a bunch of White Russians? He came to that table. You know, all of us, we maybe put in $500 combined. He walked
we're
up and
playing
bought like
minimums.
$600.
We're playing like $50 hands because that's the minimum that you can play. And then he sits down, like spread all his money, and then he was just like,
He was ready to win.
Yeah,
And he ended up losing a bunch.
but not all the time. I've seen some people that are betting like a couple $100, $500 a hand or whatever, and they're just winning, and then they'll bet like really high on the bonus. And then when you hit the bonus is when you get like a ton of money back, like 40 times.
I got 4 aces one time. I had 4 of a kind in Vegas, and I won, I think, $60 on the hand.
Yeah, 4 of a kind is I think it's like 5-1.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and
so
I,
if you're
and I
betting
put in a
$5
dollar chip.
Yeah, it's a bunch of money. I mean, like you can make money, but basically the bonuses and on the slot machines is like when you hit a bonus is the only time that you really make money.
The Jokers
Otherwise,
do
you're
count
just kind of like
Pai Gow
playing
too,
out.
so it's not necessarily impossible to get 4 of a kind. It's actually pretty easy to do, comparatively speaking, because I think there's 2 wild cards.
you cannot use the Joker on Pygal for four of a kind. You can only be used to complete a straight or a flush, or it's an ace.
That's what it was, because I had 3 aces in my hand and I used it as an ace.
Yeah,
I had
so
four of
if
a
you have
kind.
that point, then yeah, you have four aces. That's the only way you can also get five aces on Pygal, and that pays out like
Isn't it like
500
100
to 1.
Oh,
Yes.
500 to 1.
Or 50 to 1.
Very
I don't know,
nice.
something like that. It's something ridiculous.
We'll all go down there one night and we'll make an episode like right after we get back. We can all
It's
talk about
dangerous for sure,
trip.
especially when you mix in drinks, and that's what the casinos do. It. They're not giving you free drinks because they're nice. They're trying to
pumping in
make a
oxygen.
profit. Yeah, everybody's trying to make a profit. Credit cards are trying to make a profit by giving you this free money.
The casinos.
Casinos are trying to make a profit out of you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just go out with the mentality, all right, I got a couple $100 and I'm okay. Like, this is what I'm going to use. Think about it as entertainment. When you go out to a show or a movie, you know you're going to pay an entrance ticket. And basically that's what you're doing when you're playing on a table or slot machines. You're just paying for entertainment. And now, but this is the great thing because sometimes you might walk away with extra money that you came in, you know, like you could win. And that feels a lot better when you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting to win and I won. But if you go in thinking, oh, I'm going to make some money, and then you walk out with nothing, then it feels terrible. The
first
lows are
time-
definitely way lower than the highs are high.
The first time we went to Jack, I ended up walking away with $130, and I think I went in with 40 because on my last hand I had like 650 left, and so I was like, you know what, I've got enough. Let me play the $5 bet, and I ended up hitting on like a $40 thing, and they tripled it, so I walked away with like $135 on my last hand, and at that point I cashed out, and I was like, I'm walking out of here with a lot more than I came in with. And then 2 weeks later, I lost it all in a drunken stupor.
Yeah, you gotta know when to walk away too. I mean, I've been up like $300, and I'm like, well, I've been winning. I'm gonna keep on winning. And guess what? No, I lost all those $300 and then some. So you're gonna win sometimes. You're gonna lose sometimes. You're gonna be up. You're gonna be down. But when you're up and I mean, you should know when to walk away.
Knowing when to walk away is a very valuable skill.
It's hard, and that's why people get addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the closest thing I've ever been to a casino is I used to play full-time poker on the internet. We actually put on real money, but it's all online on the computer.
Right.
And I'd stay up all night with my grandpa. And he just handed me the mouse, let me play all night. And I was maybe 13, 14. And, you know, he won a lot of money on it, but he lost a lot of money on it too.
Yeah, they have a poker rooms in all the casinos too. That's what we're gonna try to do this time in Vegas. We've never been, but like they have it at Jack too. Maybe we should try to get in one time. I think the buy-ins here at Jack are not as high, and there are the chances that we could get lucky and walk out with $500-600.
There's always that chance. You really never know because the jackpots do hit, just not often.
Right.
You
That's
gotta
why it's
be there to
gambling.
get it though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes. Spend every waking second and dollar you have in the casino just waiting for it.
It's worth it. Play the lottery
I
every
had a
day.
dream last night. I'm gonna go to this machine. I'm gonna put in $5 and I'm gonna win. $300 later, my entire paycheck. It's just like, well, shit. Maybe it's next week.
Yeah, I think that's addiction. But no, that's the thing. I mean, like they say, like literally, you can't win if you don't play. Now, play like you were saying, everything in moderation.
But if playing costs money,
Yeah, don't mortgage your house to go to the casinos and play your luck, you know. But like he was saying, I mean, if the jackpot and the lottery is like $1 billion, I'm okay throwing a couple dollars away. If I know chances are I'm not gonna win, but there is a chance that I might, you know, even if it's a minuscule chance,
people
still.
might think that high
a
stakes
game.
gambling is like, high limit. No, high stakes gambling is going with your mortgage papers in hand, selling your house at the casino, and then just running with what you've got. That's high stakes. That's life or death. That's sleeping in a bed or the streets tonight.
That's right.
I bet it's thrilling though.
It is.
That
When
high
you
you
win,
get.
yeah, when you win, it's amazing. It's like, hell yeah. And you just, oh, it feels great. But like I said, when you lose, it's even worse.
Oh, because, I mean, just imagine if you won even $1 million. How many people would be coming out of nowhere, like, immediately wanting to be you, wanting to be with you, wanting to spend time with you and everything? You'd really
Well,
find
the
out.
lottery is sketchy.
Well,
Because
yeah.
right away, the jackpot that they advertise, you're not going to get that. That's if you wait 30 years. Which, if I ever won the lottery, I think I would do it. Because I'm young enough still to where, like, But if I'm 50, 60 and I hit the jackpot, like, I'm not going to get to see all this money. So, sure, give me the extra money now, even if I take lesser. So, say you win 500 million. technically you're only going to get about 360. And out of those 360, the government's going to take half. So you only make 180. And then, yeah, out of that, then everybody's going to come out of the woodwork trying to get some money, trying to get a loan. I don't know, guilt tripping you into something.
Oh, they can guilt trip me all they want. I'll be like, here, I'll give you $100. That's all you're going to give me? All right, I'll take it back.
Well, people have gotten killed. Like, this is not even like people that win the lottery, their lives go down the shitter.
That's why a lot of people go anonymous when they do it.
In Ohio, you can go anonymous.
Yeah.
We figured that out the last time when the.
There's only a couple states. Ohio is one of them, but like not.
Oh, is that not nationwide?
No. Some states require to come out.
When the Powerball hit 1.6 billion, we looked it up because we had like 60 tickets at work, and we looked it up, and apparently you can remain anonymous in Ohio.
Ohio, yeah, it's one of a few.
Thank God.
Yeah, but like I said, there's this guy. I think it was like Georgia, that he got killed, and then he was found like under his driveway. So they killed him, buried him, and then put a driveway on top of him, try to hide the body. But
see, at that point, why though? I mean, it's not like he has it in cash sitting in his house.
I think it was like his wife that did it.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Oh,
so she was gonna get the money.
The life insurance policy.
Or just like she would get.
Yeah,
like,
the accounts
joint
are
bank
linked.
accounts. Yeah.
Well, I'm not married, so.
Yeah.
So the government gets your money.
Yeah, he
at that
says,
point.
yeah, like there aren't any rings on my finger.
So yeah, I mean, if anybody ever gets that kind of money, go and make a will and leave it to somebody, and don't even tell them because they might kill you to try to get their money. But if you don't make a will and you die, that money goes back to the government. I mean,
If I won that kind of money, I would put it in a will, and I'd be like, put a roulette table with all my friends on it, give it a spin, and wherever the ball lands, that's who's going to get my fortunes.
wow.
And I would make
Jackass.
every single one of them show up. I might do.
I
You
think
know
you
what?
don't have to make them. I think everybody would show up at
That's
that
a
point.
15-minute drive.
Yeah, it's like,
I might like put it to everybody I hate. Like everybody back in high school that I couldn't stand. I'd put all their faces on a roulette board, and I'd be like, let me just spin this thing in front of all of them.
You'd
And
be
then-
dead.
I would be dead, but I'd be smiling down from heaven.
Yeah.
but why would you put the people that you hated on
That's
the
a heavy assumption.
So that one happy person that I hate is so much better that actually one happy person out of everybody I hate is great because that means everybody else I hated is unhappy.
But why don't you just give it to somebody that you like?
Yeah.
I'd rather piss off 50 people than make one happy.
But then you're gonna piss off all the people that liked you by not including them and
Yeah.
just giving it to these people that you
Like,
don't
I'd
like.
be hurt.
So everybody hates you now, David.
Where are my funds? I was kind of banking on that. All right, fine. I'll
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna drive over there to whatever it is for $100. You can keep that.
I'll leave it to people I like and can stand. I'll leave it to the listeners. All 6 of them.
Yeah.
Myself included. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, like, we're starting. Like I said, we're not yet on Apple or iTunes, but we're working on it. But yeah, to people listening, thank you for giving us your time, basically.
Couple
Tyler,
episodes from now.
what do you think?
I think it was a great podcast. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been fun. This was more
it's
fun than
getting
last
better.
week.
It's getting better. Last week, like I said, it was just more of a test. We're trying to figure everything out. Even today, we spent the first 45 minutes trying to figure it out. And it's going to get better and better every time, I think. Better topics. We did not touch on a controversial topic this time.
Which is really disappointing because I
But
invited
we
Tyler
will.
specifically for that.
I'll be back many a times.
He will be.
Oh, yeah, he
We'll
will
be
be.
bringing
We will
Tyler
talk
back.
about everything and anything. Again, if anybody wants us to talk about anything in specific, let us know. And if there's anything going on in Cincinnati and you guys want us to check it out or spread the word about it, let us know, and we will do that.
How can they contact?
So right now, we're going to be making our social medias here soon. But right now, if you go to our Anchor page, which if you're listening to this, you know where it is. You can leave a comment. You can actually record your own voice, basically like a voicemail, and we can hear it, listen to it. We could even include it in our podcast, and we can respond to you right there, as if you were basically sitting right here with us. Or you can just leave a comment anywhere that you're listening to. You can leave a comment in Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere, and we will also get to see that.
You can mail us at...
Well, no, I mean,
No.
I'm not saying not yet, but we're gonna be opening some accounts to where we can share links, we can share pictures, we'll share videos. We're also gonna be having a YouTube page where we're gonna be putting a
content.
recording of the podcast here in the basement or whatever we are, And there's also going to be some gameplay. There's going to be events around Cincinnati,
Some vlogs.
some travel blogs, a little bit of everything. And we're going to be growing this. I mean, this is still the beginning, basically. So, this is only going to get better.
But it's
Laying the
fun.
groundwork.
Yeah.
Laying the foundation for something for years to come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're all 20-something friends and whatnot, so, if this goes well.
I think it's creating some interest. I mean, like I said, we got some people listening, and for the most part, people that listen to it liked it. So
I can't wait for fantasy football because then we'll be able to dedicate a segment each week to fantasy football.
yeah, we'll have segments. We'll take comments too on that. But like I said, we're gonna have controversial topics. We're gonna have sports talks with David. He seems to be
I love
very
sports.
informed about that. So
Me and Tyler like sports.
absolutely.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Tyler's like when they actually stand for the fucking anthem.
It's a great way to end.
That's a controversial topic that we will leave for another time.
Check it out next time.
Next time, The Wall, standing up, gun rights, feminism,
Abortion.
In
Abortion.
one podcast.
in one podcast.
No. I think that would be a heavy podcast.
That would be
and,
like a 5-hour podcast.
That would
yeah,
be
we want to
depressing.
keep this light. We want to keep this interesting. We want to just have a good time with everybody here. So, but we do want to get into those more controversial topics, and we will. Again, I think we should keep it to one, maybe two a podcast because they do take a long time, and we could talk for about an hour. One topic.
Easily.
So
Maybe a Saturday we don't all work. We could all meet up and knock out a couple episodes. That way, and then we can like split them up into
Yeah,
different
absolutely.
segments. So
So for now, I think that's gonna be it for today. And again, thank you everybody for listening. This has been
it's
Life
been
in
lit.
HD with
Thanks for
Larry and
having me,
David
guys.
and Tyler. Asterisk and Tyler. We're gonna keep the name for now because
We like it.
yeah, we like it. But again, Tyler's gonna be joining us for most of our podcast. So we'll share our social medias as well later on.
Yeah.
I think. And that way you guys can send us requests or messages if you guys want to.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
At least starting out.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Signing off.
Thank you.